Example 2, car sales forecasting. Calculate the exponential smoothing forecast. So to calculate the exponential smoothing forecast, what we're going to do is we're going to use these formula here in the lecture notes. And what the first formula says is that the first period of the forecast equals to the actual of the first period. So actual is column D. Column D is the actual car sales. That's your A. And then your forecast is column E. That's the forecast value. So what this formula says is that actual equals to forecast. So we just equate that to actual. So in period 1, our forecast equals to the 97 that we have in column D. Starting from period 2 and onward, we're going to use the second formula. And what this formula says is that the forecast for the current period is equal to the forecast from the previous period plus the alpha times the actual from the previous minus the forecast from the previous. So again, forecast is from column E, and the actual is from column D. So there are two different columns. And then alpha is just your 0.3. So from period 2 and onward, what we do is we substitute the value in there. So for period 2, to calculate the forecast value, we're going to use the formula here. So the forecast for period 2 is equal to the forecast from the previous period, so E7, plus your 0.3. 0.3 is your alpha, times bracket actual from the previous period. Actual from the previous period is your D7, minus your forecast from the previous period. So forecast from the previous period is your E7. So notice there are two different columns, right? Actual is column D, and then forecast is column E. And they're from the previous period, and you're going to get the 97. So the key here is that you just need to set up the formula once. Once you set up this formula once, what you do is you can replicate it. So your bottom right corner, you see the black cross. You just drag it down, and then you can replicate the formula, and then you're done. So I'll show you one more time. So again, the key is just to create this formula once. Once you have created the formula once for the period 2, then you go to the bottom right corner. You see the black cross, you hold it with your mouse, you drag it down, and then you're done. Same for the absolute forecasting error. The absolute forecasting error is basically the absolute value of your actual minus your forecast. So equal ABS, absolute function, actual 142 minus your 97, and then here's your answer there. So absolute function, bracket D8 minus E8, and that's enter, and then you're done. And again, same idea. Once you have created this formula once, bottom right corner, you see the black cross, you drag it down, and then you replicate the formula, and then you're done. And then to get the MAD, what you do is you just take the average of the difference. Notice that there's no absolute forecasting error for the first period because they're the same value. F1 equals to A1, so there's no absolute forecasting error for the first period.